And you're still tuned into the Motown Show on ET Now. And today we are going to be in conversation with a car company which has a lot of moving parts there. One, of course, they are the biggest beneficiary of the India-EU trade deal. Along with that, with respect to, they are turning out to be very aggressive in some of their product launches. And the company is also creating new milestones in terms of their sales performance. And I'm talking about Skoda India, and joining me in conversation today is Mr. Ashish Gupta, who heads the business of the India entity. Ashish, so good having you on the channel today.
Thank you, Srishti.
Where do we start with? The new launches, the milestones created, and really from the last time we had a conversation, mid last year, I think.
Yes, I think so. I think June 2025.
Yes, and I think since throughout you have been in the headlines. But I want to start, Ashish, really with the headline of India and EU FTA.
Yeah.
Because being a European car company and a brand there, you are indeed focusing a lot on the Indian markets, but this trade deal is coming at a very crucial time.
Yeah.
Why don't you start by helping us understand how you're going to benefit from that?
I think, first of all, let us welcome this great move. I think it's a great move for the Indian economy, but at the same time for Europe as well. I think both regions stand to equally gain from this historic agreement that has happened. Although we are still working out what the exact contours of the FTA are, especially the operationalization timelines. But I would just say that as you said, we are one of the largest European manufacturers, so it does open up a lot of opportunities for us, not only for bringing in cars from Europe, but also maybe sending back some Indian manufactured cars back to Europe. Yeah, so that I see it as a two-way advantage for us. But at the same time, the bigger story for me is that it also gives us a lot of access to European technology and bringing it to India at much better price points, at much lesser costs, and making sure that the technology benefit that we have in Europe is also brought into India. So I think overall it's a good move for us, and we're looking forward to how we can utilize this opportunity in front of us.
Indeed, indeed. But Ashish, why don't you tell us that which all models do you really import from the European markets? Because yes, I'm going to be talking about your new launches. 2026 looks exciting, but with the current portfolio that you have, how much of it is really imported?
I think just by the definition of FBUs and imports, and because of the duty structures that existed earlier, the portfolio that we could bring into India was limited. Of course, there's a lot of aspiration in India to get their hands on Indian customers to get their hands on our European portfolio. So if you look at it, in the month of October, we did bring the Octavia RS into the country, which is a fully built unit under the FBU route or the GSR 870 rule. We also are planning to bring the Kodiaq RS this year, which we just showcased in the Skoda experience a couple of weeks ago. So these are two cars I'm looking at. Of course, now going forward, we have to totally relook at what kind of a portfolio or what kind of cars can we bring in more on top of this.
No, even if your cars have higher duties right now, they're completely sold out. You want to keep that limited edition. We all know about it. But when is the next batch of Octavia RS coming?
Yeah. So, I said this during the Skoda experience as well. We were planning for Q3. But again, I have to be, very honest here and say that, with the EU FTA being announced now, we have to now look at when is it being operationalized and time our launches also accordingly.
All right. But with respect to the latest launch, let's talk about that, because we have seen a lot of excitement with respect to the new Kushaq. Indeed, the car is giving a very different feel, along with carrying the traditional specs of it. Give us some sense that the pre-bookings are open, we know about it. How is the excitement, and when are you going to really launch that?
No, I think, 2 weeks ago when we showcased this car, this is a big step forward, especially for the Kushaq. Kushaq was our first product under the India 2.0 strategy. So it is more than a product, it is also an emotional investment for us. So we wanted to make sure that the new Kushaq that we bring in brings back that emotion or even elevates it. We wanted to connect it with our Indianness and the way we have also driven over the last 6 months in terms of getting closer to our customers, both emotionally and as a brand, but also physically through our network and through our products. So all those aspects and the strategy that we wanted to implement of being relevant to the Indian customers, giving them differentiated products and building trust with them. All these three elements have been built into the new Kushaq, and the positive response that we got to the showcase that we did, I think is very encouraging for us. We are planning to, the pre-bookings as you said are open, but we will be launching the car towards the third week of March.
All right, looking forward to that, and all eyes on the pricing, because yes, you must also be a beneficiary of the GST rate rationalization.
Sure.
But Ashish, give us some sense that post that, we have already seen the headlines with respect to the sales number, but how do you see the industry and Skoda growing in this calendar year at least?
I think going back to GST 2.0, and I've said this before, it has been a structural shift. It came at the right time because the 3 months before the GST 2.0 were kind of a depressing period for the industry. I would say the industry was more or less flat, in fact, if not degrowing. So the GST 2.0 came right at the time when the festive season were also starting in India. We saw that Q4 sales in India for the automobile sector were blockbuster, to say the least. There was a growth of almost 10 to 12% compared to Q4 of 2024. With that push, the entire year ended almost 6% above 2024, which we were not, at one point of time sitting in June and July, didn't seem possible. And that momentum I see getting carried forward into 2026 as well. January again has been a record month, almost 14 to 15% growth in sales compared to already a very high January of 2025. So the momentum continues, and the same thing applies for us as Skoda as well. But I think more than that, yes, GST 2.0 was a game changer in terms of how the market responded to it. But the important thing was also to be ready for such kind of a change. And I think with all the planning and the fast response we did to that change in the market structure itself was very encouraging for me. That also helped us to utilize that momentum to a large extent.
All right, that looks exciting. But Ashish, what about the new launches that you have planned for 2026? Tell us more about that, and which category is something that I would love to know more.
No, totally. So I think this year we have planned almost 10 product actions. This includes 3 new variants. We have already introduced the Classic Plus and the Prestige Plus in the Kailak. The Classic Plus, in fact, is a new addition which totally democratizes European technology. Right from the Classic, the base variant, basically you are now getting a sunroof and a host of other features, alloy wheels, and in the new Kushaq, in the new Kailak Classic Plus, you also get rear wipers, defoggers. The real automatic, the 6-speed automatic torque converter is available in the Classic Plus automatic transmissions at price points which were not available earlier. So a big, I would say, transformation of our Kailak range with the Classic Plus and the Prestige Plus. And also we are planning the Sport line, the more sporty version of the Kailak towards the festive season. So 3 big actions on the Kailak. We have the new Kushaq coming in. We also are planning a facelift on the Slavia towards the festive season. I just said that we will be bringing in the Kodiaq RS, the Octavia RS comes back with another batch. Then there is a surprise that we are planning. Let's see how it pans out. Yeah, so some action models and some model upgrades on the Kodiaq as well. So a lot of action, throughout the year to keep the excitement about the Skoda brand high.
But why am I not hearing the EVs?
No, I think EVs. I've said this before as well. For EVs, you cannot take a decision for 1 year. You have to have a complete strategy, and you need to have a complete ecosystem ready, which should include a localized EV, right? So that is the larger plan we are working on. We have been ready for bringing electrics from our global range for a long time. We have the ENIAC, I can bring it tomorrow as well, but we have to be realistic. Even with the FTA, you do not get any benefits on EVs per se. So the price points that you will have to bring the FBUs will be, again, it will be limited volume. So you have to have a long-term strategy, which we are working on, and based on that strategy, then we will bring up.
Okay, I think for now you have a lot already on your plate.
Yeah.
So maybe EV in some time. But Ashish, if you have to sum up Skoda's vision for 2026, what was those 3 keywords be?
I would say get even closer to customers. Yeah. So one of the areas that we are working on very diligently for this year as a very focus approach is also building trust and driving excellence. Yeah. So building trust means that we have to focus a lot on our service experience, our service costs, which by the way we have done a lot, but maybe the communication part has been something which we could have done better.
Talked about.
Yeah. So that this is something which we have started the year with. We have started our service campaign with the tagline of "You never drive alone." We've introduced the Super Care standard across all our cars with 4 years warranty, 4 years roadside assistance and 4 services in the Super Care package, standard across all our cars, all variants. So that's a big focus for me. This also includes expanding the service network that we have across the countries. We are present today with almost 200 service touchpoints. I want to take it to around 250 service touchpoints by the end of the year. So big focus on making sure that our service experience is better, if not as good as our cars. Yeah. So that's the whole focus. But at the same time, delivering excellence at every customer touch point, right from prospecting to delivery to service, making sure that the premium image that Skoda has and the excellence customers expect from us is delivered at every touch point.
All right, and what all we can do is wish you all the best for all of that and looking forward to a great journey of Skoda 2026. Thank you so much, Ashish.
Thank you, Srishti. Thank you.